Hi, CHC. My name is Eva, and I was a peer academic advisor with Team Angel. In this video, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for studying effectively so that you can get the most out of your education. This video is for anyone who wants to improve on their skills for academic success. We will touch on some different approaches to studying, breaking down overwhelming tasks, facing challenges, and some resources you might not know are available to you. Let's get started. Our first tip is to find what works for you. Everyone learns differently, and there's no right or wrong way to go about absorbing information. If you're an auditory learner, listen to audiobooks or use a program that will read your assigned materials out loud to you. I was an English major, and it could be difficult to get through all the assigned readings. But I found that audiobooks increased my comprehension for more difficult texts, and that using a combination of physical and audiobooks helped break up my reading time, which allowed me to focus for longer. If you prefer visual learning, you can create or find diagrams and infographics that organize information visually. If you don't know what works best for you, try out a few different methods and see what clicks. Maybe try writing notes by hand to see if it increases your comprehension, or use a time-based study method like Pomodoro if you have trouble focusing or need reminders to take breaks. It is also important to remember that one strategy won't work for every class or assignment, so stay flexible and don't hesitate to try something new. Our next tip is to break tasks down. Starting a big project like studying for a test or writing an essay can feel overwhelming, but breaking down a project into smaller steps can lower the barrier to entry and make it easier to get started. Desmond Tutu is credited with saying, "There is only one way to eat an elephant, a bite at a time," meaning that any task, no matter how challenging, can be tackled bit by bit. Steps can be simple, like gathering your study materials or organizing content into sections, and then building up to tasks that may feel more daunting, like testing your knowledge and reviewing weak spots. The more you break down the process, the more manageable the whole process will feel, and the easier it will be to get started. This can also be an opportunity to plan out what study methods you are going to use. One lesson I learned while getting my undergraduate degree is that challenges are opportunities for growth. Being in the CHC means you're up for a challenge. That might not always feel true because school is full of ups and downs, but you're here for a reason, and you belong here. Struggling means growth. So if you find something challenging now, it probably means you will be better at it in the future, maybe even better at it than someone who found it easy all along. The first time I wrote a big research paper for a class, it took a whole quarter, and I didn't get the grade I was hoping for. While that didn't feel like a success at the time, I got some great feedback and kept practicing and improving on my writing. A few quarters later, big papers were still a challenge, but I had more tools to succeed, and they were feeling more manageable. By the time I wrote my last research paper, I felt confident in my approach and was able to complete it in just a few weeks without major procrastination or cramming. And most importantly, I produced work that I felt good about. Struggling doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're learning. And that's the whole reason you're here. The last piece of advice I will share is to use your resources. The CHC is rooting for your success, and it is up to you to reach out for support when you need it. Familiarize yourself with the resources available to you so that you have the tools for success ready when you meet a challenge. If you are working on a paper and want to improve your writing, you can make an appointment with the Writing Center, and they will support you with whatever step of the process you are at, whether that be brainstorming, drafting, or final touches. The CHC Canvas resources page also offers tools for success like the do's and don'ts of office hours and how to study for chemistry, which is a master document for success that is applicable beyond just chemistry. If you are struggling in a class, look into signing up for a LARC tutorial, which is supplemental instruction for specific classes each quarter. LARC is UCI's Learning and Academic Resource Center, and they have a number of paid and free resources for students, including a whole page of their website dedicated to study strategies, which I highly suggest you take a look at. If you're interested in one of the paid services like tutorials but are concerned about the cost, they do offer sponsorships, which allow eligible students to enroll at no cost. To find tutorials, look up lark.uci.edu and click on Tutorials under Our Services. From there, you can read an in-depth explanation of how the tutorials work, and at the bottom of the page, you can view their schedule and enrollment options for the current quarter. Another resource that is especially important is your community. Learning doesn't have to be a solo job, especially in the CHC, and you are surrounded by other students who are tackling the same challenges as you and probably finding them just as difficult. Even if you prefer to study alone, having a community of academically driven people who encourage and inspire you can ease the path to academic success. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to take a look at the LARC Study Strategies and CHC Canvas Honors Advising Resources page. Keep learning!